My daughter was laying down her own blood, y'all, running down the sidewalk like water if you wash a car. And the reason my granddaughter was in front of that car is because the man had to stand with her where he found her at. My granddaughter was smart enough to go hide under a car.
Well, I was on TikTok and I was scrolling and I saw this mom. Someone posted the mom on TikTok explaining what happened to her daughter. On January 1st, 2023, as families are gathering, celebrating with their loved ones, snuggled up with their children, making their vision boards, this guy decides to take Alexis Grath, and I may be saying her name wrong, 26 years old, Alexis Grath's life in front of her 3-year-old daughter. You can look in her eyes and tell that she just lost a piece of her. And I know that feeling oh so well. So when you see the camera shaking, that's her nerves. When you hear that knocking on the camera and she kind of comes in and out, that's her nerves. Let me tell you something. When my father passed away, I don't even remember walking because the grief was so strong. And so when she started shaking, and also I had the shakes, I could not eat. So, watching her was just triggering. The reports are saying that Alexis was gearing up to leave this guy. And a lot of times I tell my family members and friends, for people who do not understand domestic violence, and your first response to situations like this is just leave. Statistics show us that 80 to 90% of domestic violence victims die within the first 30 to 90 days of leaving their abuser. And actually, when you're getting ready to leave, that is the most scariest time for a victim. And that's one thing I learned when I was staying in a domestic shelter. We had to go to counseling, and I think it was like twice a week. And that's one thing they grilled in our heads. Is one of the most important things that we had to know and learn and understand is that when you're fleeing your abuser, the first month is so crucial. It's the most dangerous spot for a victim to be in. You can tell that Alexis was surrounded by love. She had an 8-month-old baby and a 3-year-old daughter that watched this take place right in front of her. The first thing I noticed when watching her mother's video was her eyes. They took a piece of that woman's soul when they took her daughter. I can only imagine the pain that this mother is feeling right now. And I know I can't tell you all what to do, can't tell you how to live your life. But if he hit you once, he'll hit you again. That's not love. Get out. Consider telling 2 good friends and make your escape and tell no one else. Get out. It's not even worth it. I'm sure Alexis did not see this coming. I'm sure she didn't. It's just so devastating. These types of stories really makes me so sad because I understand. When you've never been in a domestic violence situation, it's shocking because you don't really want to consider yourself as a victim for one, and then you're not used to it, so you're thinking, okay, well, maybe I can make him love me, or maybe I can make him straighten up, but usually that's not the case. A lot of times people will love the ideal of you versus loving you as an individual or loving you as their partner. They love the ideal. So when they figure out that you're trying to leave them, the ideal is gone. They don't see you as a human.
My daughter died, y'all, for protecting her daughter. See, he shot my daughter 5 times. Hear me when I say this. 5. One in one side, one in the other hip, and 3 times in the stomach. Guess what? But the measurements of the bullet holes showed that she turned one way because she had a little person there, and turned another way because of the little person there. And Lonnie ran, and she hid. And when it spun her around, he shot her 3 times in the stomach. Yeah. So in the midst of it, guess what? The officer told me, because I can play this off my head, I ain't gonna never close my eyes and I see it. When they were pulling up, before they got out the car, he shot her. Laid himself on the ground, pushed the gun over, and said he surrendered.
My only hope and prayer is that Alexis. Oh, Alexis. I'm truly praying for your soul and your babies and your mom, and I'm so sorry that this happened to you. My condolences to your family. I hope your mom finds comfort. This woman is so broken. Oh, God. You can just feel it through the phone. And I'm just so sorry that this happened. The fact that this man was already in some trouble got out. I wonder what's going on with that. We'll follow back up with this story for sure, but he got out and a month later took her life. Just like that. The sister heard him say he was going to take her life, the babies, I believe, and then himself. Could you imagine the horror of hearing that as a sister? As a mother? Your daughter is being gunned down and you're not even in close proximity up to her. I couldn't imagine the horror. What is wrong with the world? Trust your intuition. It will never steer you wrong. It will never steer you wrong. If it ain't right, if it don't always say, if it don't feel right, it ain't right. Alexis had a full life ahead of her. And this person, because her light was so bright, he decided to play God. Oh, this broke my heart, you all. If you would like to see the full breakdown of Shanetta, I think I'm saying her name wrong, but if you want to see the full breakdown, go to Facebook. I will be following this case closely just to see any updates with the boyfriend. Also, I just want to make sure that for sure she get justice, which we know she will. The mother also insinuated that the killing was caught on film. Even after this man did this, the mother stated, that the friends went in the house of Alexis and took clothes and shoes and items out. I'm gonna get out of here, y'all, because my heart is broken. I'm not even gonna hold you. Go ahead, like, share, subscribe, and we'll follow back up with Alexis' story. I definitely want to humanize her a little bit, just get some more information about who she was. But I saw this and I knew I had to speak on it because I wasn't going to be able to go to sleep without speaking on it. I just wasn't. It just bothered me so much because that could be your sister. That could be your cousin. And see, it really bothers me when people say, why don't you just leave? If it was that simple, we wouldn't have shelters. We wouldn't have shelters for domestic violence victims. We just wouldn't. I'm going to let y'all go. Y'all have a good night. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. We'll be back with an update. Have a good night.